Welcome, football fan. Get prepped. This is our brand new show as we enter the 2018 football season. And boy, it's that time of year. You can feel it. Everybody's jacked up. We're getting ready for the pigskin on the high school gridirons. Marty Cesario along with Neil Devlin. You know him, 3+ decades of covering prep sports. We are going to talk football. And, well, we've had some changes before we even enter the games, right?
Thank you for dating me, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about the topics. One of them is a lot of coaching changes. Especially in Class 5A entering the new season.
More than half of them over the past 3 seasons are no longer where they were before. Significantly, we have Ed McCaffrey now leading Valor Christian. Rod Sherman moved over to Arapahoe, where Mike Campbell vacated to go to Englewood. Jeff Ketron, who brought Douglas County up in Castle Rock middle of last decade, is back at Chaparral. And at my school, Vincent White, a legend, and who played in the backfield at Stanford with John Elway, is now leading the Mustangs.
Kind of under the radar is Todd Casebeer going to Castleview. I mean, that is a great coach, Montrose, than what he did with Fruita Monument, now Castleview. And, you know, they've got
That's a significant get for those guys, without a doubt. He was terrifically successful over there on that side of the hill, on the west side and everything like that. I was surprised he came over here because, I mean, he is well known over there and well liked and everything, but I mean, it's the metro area's gain for sure. Todd Casebeer for sure.
Yeah, that should go well for Casebeer, so that'll catch our attention.
It's like the old Highlands Ranch.
Right.
You know, if you don't go in there for a week, something else new is there.
Yeah, and you mentioned Highlands Ranch. They have a new coach, you know, to build the culture over there for the Falcons in John Trahan. How about the changes in the leagues? We kind of do this. It's a cycle that we've gotten used to over the past decade and a half.
Well, we had the waterfall a year ago, which basically was a situation in which they took the results from previous seasons, kind of rounded them out, and then seeded them accordingly.
Right.
It seemed like a good idea at the time, and I was for it, but then once you got into it and realized who was going to play who and who was going to be where, it was a very bad idea. But I mean, we go through this every 2 years. Class 5A just can't seem to get something that it wants to stick with. I mean, being progressive is one thing. Being a little neurotic, I think, is a little bit different. You know, I mean, we have haves and we have have-nots. We can't legislate parity, where everybody gets a chance, or everybody gets a ribbon. It's just not realistic.
Let's talk top 10. 2018, that's always a big thing, preseason polls. Let's say the top 3. I think those are obvious. Leading with Cherry Creek, of course.
Keep going.
Let's talk Valor. And then, of course, defending champion, Pomona.
Yeah, I think there are our 3 best shots without anybody playing it down in this season to play at Mile High at the end of the season.
Dave Logan is absolutely stacked. The Bruins are impressive with what they're going to put out there. They got a huge defensive line. They've got their quarterback returning, and you know, Padilla, who's a next-level FBS commit. You know, he's got like 4 years of experience. They're quite impressive what the Bruins are going to bring to the football fields, for sure.
I remember when one quarterback got hurt for Bruins, and Dave had Alex, you know, taking reps with the first team and stuff. I believe he told me they had one practice as a freshman where the ball did not touch the ground. Now, you know, 3 years later, he's coming off a 40-touchdown pass season, headed to Iowa. He's going to have to be dealt with. It's that simple.
Pomona, they deserve the right to be listed in that top 3, depending on who you're talking to, right?
Well, Billy Pospisil would be a real player on anybody's team. He's just a fabulous little athlete out there. He can run, he can catch it in traffic, he runs really nice routes, he's a tough guy and stuff. But Jay Madden, coach, has quite a few other parts back as well. Not as well named, but I mean, these guys are pretty seasoned, and I think Madden has demonstrated what he can do. Again, 3 straight finals. Has to be doing something right.
Let's talk Valor now. New coach, Ed McCaffrey. Obviously, that has people's attention within the Denver community. He's an ex-Bronco, okay? You got Luke McCaffrey, who's going to play quarterback for him, and then a lot of other talent like Josiah Davis. They deserve to be up there as always, right?
On those 2 kids alone. Now, year in, year out, Valor is very good at replacing its line on both sides. It's linebackers, it's secondary, things like that. They get those exceptional skill kids, and they surround them with an amazing array of talent. You got to hand it to them.
So in addition to the top 3, as we look up and down Class 5A, you know, some familiar programs.
You know, Columbine must be handled. Grandview always reloads nicely. John Schultz does a terrific job, particularly on defense every year. And for me, Tommy McCartney and Fairview with Aiden Atkinson, the quarterback, and the receivers back, their thing will be once they play one of like the so-called superpower teams, can they deal with them up front? Because that's what the top 3 have. There's no question about the line. And then for me also, you know, and it's easier for me to say, but I mean, you know, Mullen could possibly do something. New regime, new players, who knows? That's what New Year's all about.
Yeah. And hey, speaking of next level linemen, coming up this Friday, our Fox 31 Game Day broadcast will be Eagle Crest against Highlands Ranch. And the Raptors have 3 next level linemen, at their disposal, but also Highlands Ranch has Austin Johnson, who's already a commit to Colorado, and then Big Drake Nugent, who's not decided as of right now. But he's a big boy, and he is going to play college ball too. So we're producing linemen, and those two sets of linemen.
Producing
yes, we
linemen.
have been.
We
That's a good
are
point.
known as a state of linemen. We have not been known as a state of skill players.
Let's talk some of the star players, that catch your attention here in Colorado.
Well, offensive lineman Barrett Miller going to Stanford from Eagle Crest is pretty darn good. Anytime you have a chance to do that, you're somebody. He has the great size and stuff. CU did well with the Davis kid. Cherry Creek's Alec Pell, and then of course Palmer Ridge quarterback Ty Evans.
Right.
It's nice to see that. Look, we're not going to be Alabama or California or something like that, but it's just nice to see. And even for CSU and for Wyoming too, as far as I'm concerned, let alone Air Force, they're starting to get an array of our better kids. Maybe not necessarily the best ones the whole time, but they're starting to get a steady dose of our kids, which I think can only be good. It attracts interest. It's nice to go to the game or follow those teams and actually know some of the names. I think that's important in Colorado, especially with the transient state and all these people moving here and things like that. That's important. And they're starting to do that by just some of those kids right there.
It's going to be an exciting season, 2018, and we will be here all year long for you via Big Bite Productions and, of course, Fox 31, KDVR TV. Marty Cesario along with Neil Devlin. You ready for this stuff?
Get prepped, man.